Welcome back to Inside the Circle podcast. I'm at the foot of the Eiffel Tower and I'm here for day 5 recap for some more group games.
Hi everybody and welcome to day 5 recap of the Inside the Circle podcast.
Are you sure it is day 5?
Thought you were going to bring that up. Yes, it is day 5. I made a mistake.
Not day
yesterday.
3 or 4?
No, I can't count. Of course, we're joined by Alan after those comments. How was your day today in Paris?
Today it started off wet, and I was going to say for me it got wetter, but it didn't. I got to the swimming venue at La Défense, a swimming pool on top of a hockey pitch inside an arena with the largest screen in the world. Like, where else would you be?
I know. Absolutely.
Just on that, actually, a nice link with the hockey and Northern Ireland. Our swimmer, Daniel Waffen, got a gold medal. First one for 36 years since the GB guys, Jimmy Kirkwood and Sam Martin.
Oh, so brilliant.
It's just an interesting tie. Plus, just you wait all that time, and then the rower, Hannah Scott, in the GB rowing, got gold.
Cool Rain.
Yep. And then Jack McMullen was on the relay team. He was in one of the heats, but still gets a gold medal for GB.
Brilliant.
So happy days. We'll take it.
Absolutely.
Take it.
Good day for the Nordies today.
Absolutely.
So, started off with a few women's games in the morning today for the hockey. Start off with Argentina and Spain. Now, it was a 50-50 game on paper and on the possession stats when it finished. Both teams had really early chances. It was real end-to-end play in that first quarter. Really nice fast flow on hockey from both teams. Argentina eventually scored a stroke from Gozzolini. Some really good saves from the Spanish keeper in that first quarter. And really, in the second quarter, it stayed sort of the same pressure and possession from both teams. And again, Argentina scored their second goal from a penalty corner flick, which was a back post deflection scored by one of the Argentinian forwards. Going into the second half, this time it sort of flipped. Spain were definitely putting a bit more pressure on at this point. They got a penalty corner, which led to a foot on the line, and Spain got a stroke, and it was scored by Riera. Both keepers did really well up until this point, and for the rest of the game, I thought really solid, good clearance, good saves throughout. Going into the fourth quarter, at one point, Argentina had two players on the sidelines for sin bin, and even though Spain were dominant in that quarter, and when those players were off, none of their attacking opportunities sort of materialized, and that really sums up the game. I think when it finished 2-1, I think Argentina should be quite relieved for that result because Spain were doing quite a lot of attacking. But on the other hand, Spain should be pretty disappointed with themselves because they had a lot of attacking opportunities and never really amounted to much.
And that game's quite critical within the group, I think, probably as well.
I think looking for the next few days, that result could lead to maybe some upsets going into the qualifying knockout matches. You then had a similar sort of game, for the qualifying results in GB in South Africa for the women.
Yeah, GB really needed a win here at this game, and they did the 1-2-1, and a good 60% of the possession. Now, 21 circle penetrations to 8. I would have liked to have seen a lot more goals, to be honest. Even though they were probably going to win this, I think you wanted to win with a bit of style and just get a bit of momentum. And maybe help throughout. But look, as I said, it was a reasonably big game for both teams. An early encounter, South Africa went up the far end, got a penalty corner and scored. So Duval scored from the penalty corner against the run-up play. South Africa seemed to have done that to a few teams. So that's quite interesting. Second quarter, GB's Costello got a flick deflected off a South African player to make it 1-1. South Africa had some more attacking play, got 4 penalty corners, got nothing for it. And that's how the half sort of ended. South Africa then came out in the second half, defended very well. GB hit the post. They then got a really nice goal. A beautiful aerial into the circle. We talked about the aerials and the use of it.
Yeah.
And French took the ball, first time touch in goal. It's just a really nice goal, worth going back to have a look at it if you can. I mean,
I think BBC maybe posted it on their social media, so definitely check it out. It was a brilliant goal.
It's how to do it.
Yeah,
men, women's, doesn't matter. It was a good goal there for French. That made it 2-1. And really, the fourth quarter, sort of, South African keeper played well. South Africa were relentless the whole way through the game in their defence. For me, Lily Owsley played a key role in that. But as I said, I really think they should have got more for their 21 penetrations into the circle. To me, it was a 3, maybe a 4-5-1 result. It should have been. So to me, GB need to do a little bit more on that. You then had another high-scoring match with the home nations in Germany.
Yes. So in the women's, it ended up being 5-1 to Germany against France. Game possession 43-57 in favour of Germany, though circle penetrations 8 for France, 41 for Germany. So it was very one-sided when you look at the circle penetrations. Into the first quarter, Germany scored very quickly with 2.5 minutes into it. It was a great shot across goal with a lovely deflection from the captain Lorenz. France wanted to make breakaways from German attacks. They were sending players really high to either through the aerial or a quick pass in the midfield up into their forwards. But again, nothing came of it. Seems to be a theme throughout these couple of matches so far. Germany got their second, which was a fantastic strike by Steppenhorst, which was off a goalkeeper save of a penalty corner. Going into quarter two, Germany just had pressure throughout the match. And it was good to see actually a lot of the German players using the Adidas Inna stick, that bright pink and yellow, really put out in the pitch. And again, stands out in the blue pitch and stands out against their black kit as well. Again, France having a few attacking plays from sort of counter-attacks. At this point, Germany got their third, which was a byline run and a pullback for Woltmann to finish it off. Into the second half, France had good defence at this point. There was a lot of pressure coming from Germany. And at a certain point, all 11 players were in their 25. And at that point, it was, again, good defensive work from outfielders and also the keeper. Going into quarter four, France then scored. Brilliant open play goal. It was a dribble ball from, I would say, the 25 right to the edge of the D, and it was a great reverse into the top netting. Not much any keeper could have done, to be honest. Germany then just came back, scored their fourth goal with a well-worked pass from a penalty corner miss trap. And Germany got their fifth goal from a penalty corner, which was taken straight under the reverse. So injection came out. Lorenz, the captain, again brought it right under the reverse and hit it in, which made it her hat-trick in the end. Again, Germany, far more dominant performance than probably what I've seen on previous games. But again, France had the opportunities, but just couldn't finish it off.
I think France have done themselves okay in this tournament, both men's and women's. They're playing at a level, they're playing the top people in the world. And to be honest, yes, 5-1. Anybody could lose 5-1 in a split second. The game could be, you could be 2 or 3 down within seconds. So I actually think the French have done extremely well. As I said, both men and women, and hats off to both keepers because they've been busy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I then had the next game of Australia and USA, a 3-0 win for Australia. But again, the stats show that it was a much closer game. And in watching it, you probably would have agreed. Australia put a really high press on USA quite quickly, really high attacking pressure. And from that, Australia got quite a quick goal from a hit from the top of the D by Taylor, right into that bottom corner again, that really awkward spot for keepers. Going into sort of quarter two, USA started having a bit more attacking pressure against Australia. It was a much better quarter for them. it kept Australia sort of on their defence for most of that. But there was a quick breakaway. Australia scored a second goal, which was a sweep into the roof of the net by Arnett, which was, I think, against the run of play at that point. Going into the second half, the pace stayed the whole time. So it was that pace, that end-to-end style from both teams stayed throughout the match. And I would say it probably was a bit of a stalemate that third quarter. Not anything major happened. USA had a few penalty corners that just they didn't capitalize from it. And then the fourth quarter, USA keeper had a good game. Well, you would like to think so, being coached and managed by world-class Matty Hinch. So you would expect that from them. Australia then got their third goal. It was a Brooks strike, again from the edge of the D, but it was to the near post this time. Almost the keeper stepped over it to try and make the save. The ball was just hit that quickly. I think really all in all, Australia showed their experience at that high level with this win. And once again, USA will be disappointed with not having finished the numerous chances that they had. Like they had 6 penalty corner attempts, didn't score any, and 6 open play attempts and didn't score any. So the attacking position was there. It was just that lack of finishing which let them down, which again has repercussions in the group tables and things that if they wanted to get to these knockouts, these sort of lack of finishing is letting them down.
Mm-hmm.
You had probably, I think, the game of the day looking at it, Netherlands and Germany in the main.
Yeah. I can end this match review after 3 minutes, and we can all head to the pub. But it was just a brilliant game. 1-0 to Germany. Netherlands got a penalty corner in the first 22 seconds, and I went, "Oh, this is going to be a good one." Right. They put it wide. 2.5 minutes later, Germany were on the attack, and Payet from the left-hand side crashed the ball into the circle, straight onto Velen, who controlled the ball and put it onto the keeper. It was a bit like the aerial from the other match. This was just a fantastic goal and everything else. Then Germany had to defend, and they just defended because the Dutch came at them. Second quarter, the story of this one was high quality play for both teams. They played superb passes. They just moved the ball. There was, the Dutch keeper, Black, had some really good saves. As I said, I think he probably hasn't been involved in too many matches. He pulled off some great saves. Right. At halftime, Germany 48% with 9 penetrations. The Dutch 52 with 3. So it probably was a fair 1-0 was okay for these two teams. Second half, the Dutch put a lot more pressure on right from the start. Again, they might have got a rollick in the change rooms. And they got a penalty corner with the German runner. As the Dutch hit the ball, I mean, he just stepped into the circle and hit it. The German number 1 runner stopped or deflected it with his stick low down on the ground, which is a risky move, but it was just brilliant from Hendricks. The ball veered off to the left. The Dutch picked it up and crashed the ball straight across the goal, and any tip in would have done. That happened a number of times. And you were then starting to wonder, is this really, are the Dutch going to come back? But you can never write them off.
No.
Germany were then on the back foot for the rest of the quarter with just, one breakaway. Ruhr got the ball straight into the circle and then kicked it.
Oh, no.
Really? Quarter 4, Germany attacked, and the Dutch just sponged it up. It was brilliant. They just absorbed everything, and it was really an unbelievable quarter. Tuco Tellenkamp had 2 misses, swoosh right past the goal. I mean, it was just like twice, but I thought I had to get that in.
I know you did. Was it almost like the two teams cancelled each other out?
It sort of did, but I still think Germany were the better team. I do think so. I mean, I do believe that they were the better team. They absorbed pressure. Their keeper made one or two saves, but not a lot. And you were always expecting the Dutch to come back. Germany's captain was brilliant at the back, and to me, Payet was great. He was just making these passes that were cutting the Dutch in half. But Germany held them off. Both teams seemed to me, at one point, I thought both teams have got 11 outfield players. You know, there was just players everywhere, and they were running and running. And it was just a really good game. And it was good to see Germany get the win. Because I think I did pick them in my group.
Yes, I think you did.
And somebody may have laughed at me, but it wasn't you.
Not this time.
But look, at the end of that game, as the players are coming off, there was a review at the very end, which left 0.7 seconds, and the referee blew it. And I just blew it and said game over, and they complained. So they all had to come back onto the pitch, and basically the whistle went, the guy touched the ball, and the hooter went. So it was a bit of a farce. But as they were doing that, there was a security announcement evacuating all the stands due to the adverse weather conditions that were coming through. So the last two matches were then played behind closed doors, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Because in the next game, that Belgium-Japan women's game, they got the announcement at the same time as they were leaving. So I didn't put two and two together until I saw then the last two matches. But the Belgium-Japan game was a one-sided affair in the sense that Belgium won 3-0. The possession was close, but it was possession. Belgium had 49% of the possession, and I would have said that was all attacking possession, while Japan had 51% of defensive possession.
Yes. Yeah.
It wasn't quite as close as that would seem, but it was on how they had the possession. Japan ran with the ball well, but Belgium just showed their strength so early on. They were a far more dominant team. They were creating chances. Japan were too, but they looked like they were going to have an end product on them. So they did. Going into quarter two, again, Japan started with early pressure, but it didn't last long. Every Belgium attack, there was about 3 Japanese defenders on it at that point, but then they started to tire, and that the Belgians capitalized on that. Belgium eventually scored from a penalty corner rebound. In my opinion, this was a goalkeeping mistake. The initial shot came in, it sort of bounced off her inner kickers and then went down to clear it with her glove. And at this point, Engelbert just tapped the ball in through her legs. Very quickly after, Belgium scored another goal. It was an open play reverse hit by Engelbert again. And it was deflected by a Japanese defender into the roof of the net. There wasn't much the keeper could do for that one, but that first goal from the penalty corner, it was quite poor, to be honest.
She would come. She sort of come across. She's made a few mistakes. Like, it's hard to criticize keepers.
I know.
But I mean, she's probably one of the she just hasn't had a great tournament.
She hasn't. But then, later on, she makes a fantastic save. So it was really hot and cold for her. Third quarter, it was just Belgian pressure, just the whole time, and the Japanese were just swamped by it. There was no goals, but it was just a really heavily pressured quarter. Going into the fourth one, the Japanese keeper made this great save, but Belgium scored the third. It was a first-time hit from a deflection. Belligne, it was a great goal. Not much the keeper could have done, but I would say that probably summed up the match. Belgium just dominated the game throughout. But again, the few chances the Japanese had, they'd be disappointed not to finish them. Again, we've said it almost every one of these games.
Yeah.
This lack of finishing would definitely lead teams to be disappointed. I would say it would probably be the same sort of picture for your next game, your Netherlands.
Yeah. Look, I'll race through this because it really was. The Dutch were in total control in this. 3-0. You know, they scored very early on by Mose into the circle, just a run into the circle. China had a few attacks involving the Dutch keeper, and you know, the Dutch keeper saved the ball. Probably touched the ball more than China's. So they did, and China's last touch in the circle was just really, really bad in the last quarter. It just didn't work. They great play, and then it just didn't happen. In the last minute of that quarter, then the Dutch got their second one, a great long ball all the way up the pitch. I would have said 50 yards at least. Wow. From Matler to Monifan, who then took it to the circle and just stuck it onto the keeper. I mean, it was a great goal. There's been a couple of those.
Yeah.
Second quarter, really, Dutch 1 shot on goal, China 6 penalty corners and got nothing for it. That sums it up. Half time, the Dutch had 6 circle penetrations and China 13, and that's going to be the story through this. You know, third quarter, China took it to the Dutch. They must have got a rocket fired at them in the changing rooms, and you know, China just went at them all the way through. And fair play to them, for they never stopped, and China never stopped. They just kept on going, and just couldn't do anything when they got to the circle. China got penalty corners, goalkeeper saved. You know, Netherlands got the shots, and then at the end of the third quarter, the Dutch then get their first penalty corner.
Wow!
And you know, and a bit of a fumble at the top of the circle, squared over to Matler, and she put it wide. Oh. You know, so it's like, what's happening here? But look, the fourth corner, first minute of open play, there's a bit of a goal mouth scramble, and Marion Forshore got another goal, and really the Dutch look. Nobody stopped playing. They just kept going, and it really, you know, China took it to the Dutch the whole way through, but they just got shots after shots. Look, at the end of the game, penetrations into the circle, the Dutch 15 and China 24.
Wow.
Right. It was just a really strange game. Look, the Dutch went into that match having won 19 of 19. They've now done 20 of 20. And I can't see, unless there's massive strides, that they're ever going to sort of break that in any way.
Yeah.
It was just end ends. Look, it just seems to be the thing. The weaker teams are not scoring. They're just not making the circle penetrations count. I was thinking there, Sam, on the last one. You know, we keep talking about possession. You know, the Dutch had 55% to China's 45. Maybe it's time to get every quarter. You see it in a lot of sports. So how much possession have you had in your own quarter, that either side of the halfway?
In the sections of the pitch, that would be interesting.
And I think that would be a more interesting than just a percentage. As you said, it could be, you know, most of that percentage could be you just defending.
Yeah, that's very true.
But look, you then had Spain, South Africa to finish off with.
Yes, I did, in the empty stadium, which it was different to Tokyo, because Tokyo, all the media played that slight crowd noise over the pictures. This time there wasn't that, because they hadn't prepared for this, really. Yeah. So it was interesting to listen to the match played at that intensity in an empty stadium. So you heard every hit of the ball, every pass. Some of the noises from the hitting from those guys were doing was just unbelievable. And again, the noise that the ball was making off the goalkeeper's pads was just unbelievable. So it was. But going into the first quarter, both teams had sort of early enough chances. Great defending off the line from South Africa from a Spanish attack. eventually Spain had more opportunities that again, similar to the last time, more opportunities that looked like they were going to score. Going into the second quarter, both teams had similar styles of play, I thought, during that game, and was quite even between the two teams. There then was this 5-minute yellow card for the South African Sherwood, who made a silly mistake to trip one of the guys off the ball. Really stupid to do, and because of that, Spain went up, got a fantastic deflection for their first goal from Rene. So a moment of frustration from the South Africans cost them a goal, and really their failure to capitalise on some of their attacking opportunities in that first half equally didn't help them as well. Going into the second half, Spain defended some of those South African dribbling attacks quite well, because when the South Africans get it, they really go for it.
Yeah.
But the Spanish guys defended it well. They didn't dive in. They didn't give anything away. The flip side was South Africa came back, scored a fantastic team goal, great couple of passes in, great shot, but the Spanish guys referred it, and it was a backstick from the South Africans for the goal, so it was disallowed. I must say the video umpire was unbelievably quick to make decisions in this game. He saw the first frame, and if he saw that it was the backstick, so in this situation, saw that it was backstick straight away. Straight back to him, went, it was backstick, let's play on. There's no hang up.
It was funny because I was watching it, and then the next minute, he's made that decision. That was that quick, or have I missed something, or has the TV skipped or something?
Yes, it was, and he did that a few times for a couple of the referrals, really quick, didn't hang about, which made the game flow a lot better. So it did. Spain ended up scoring in the third quarter. It was a great deflection from Baristera. It was a crash ball in on it was a shot at goal, so the ball was lifting. He ran in front and deflected it round his body, round his back, and basically took it round the back of the keeper into the far corner. It was a fantastic goal. Another one to try and find on the Spanish social media. Definitely worth a watch. At this point, momentum was now with Spain. After that goal was really disallowed from the South Africans, this was now Spain's momentum throughout the game. Eventually got the first penalty corner of the game to Spain with 1 minute 15 left of that quarter, which was interesting again to see. That was the first penalty corner. Good, clean defending from both teams up until this point. Going into the fourth quarter, more attack from South Africa that didn't end up doing anything. Spain scored their third goal. It was Rene again. It was another reaction flick from a rebound off the keeper. Not much anything could have happened. Africa started to get a bit frustrated at this point. They did go up to the Spanish end and win a stroke, though it was saved. He flicked it right into the bottom corner. But the tall Spanish keeper got down and made a great stick save. It was a really good piece of goalkeeping from, and really, it ended up being 3-0. The Spanish guys really showed why they were the higher team, the more experienced team. Better finishing throughout, better build up play throughout. And again, the South Africans just didn't take their opportunities. Like we've been saying, these, like you said before with China, these lower teams just seem to be lacking that finish of all these opportunities that they're making.
I watched the last quarter of that match, and I sensed, because we talked about it yesterday whenever they played Germany and there's a bit of aggro, they were starting to get a bit more aggro, and the South Africans just seemed to snap very quickly and start to really sort of, which is self-imploding, and it really didn't work. I mean, so actually, I think the Germans got a bit rattled from it, but I don't think the Spanish really were. They got their goals, so they were happy enough.
Absolutely. So the day was quite a mixed day. I think all the results probably went the way they probably should have on paper. Though if some of those lower teams did the finishing that they should have, it could have been a completely different story, I think. But before we go on, I just want to mention, I think the Japanese playing kit is probably one of the best playing kits in international hockey at the minute. It's the bright pink with the cherry blossom flowers on them.
Oh yes, yeah,
absolutely brilliant
cool.
kit. You know, they're nicknamed the cherry blossoms for a reason.
Yeah.
I think it's the best kit sort of on the world stage at the minute. If anyone has any different opinions on me, tell me or show me. I'd be happily proved wrong, but I think it's a brilliant kit.
I think I said it the other day. I think the China's bright yellow is bright, and they're obviously using a lot of greys hockey sticks at the minute, and they've always been traditionally a greys team. Now there's a few players now have got other brands, but you know they've got the GR 9000 and different things in that bright yellow, and then the Dutch kit is just it's so orange, it's unbelievable.
It is, but actually their away kit, the white and blue.
Yes, in the sky.
It's a nice kit as well.
No, I think Japan have it.
Yeah, by a country mile in my opinion. So I think it's probably the right point in the tournament to have a quick look at these groups and potentials of what could happen here. So to start off with the men's, so Pool A, as it stands, it is Germany, Netherlands, Spain, GB, South Africa, France, with Germany being a team that is qualified already. In Pool B, we have Belgium, India, Australia, Argentina, New Zealand, and Ireland. Again, with Belgium and India being their two teams that have qualified already. So, as it stands, that would mean in the men's quarterfinals, Germany would play Argentina, Netherlands would play Australia, Spain would play India, and GB would play Belgium.
All really good games. And actually, I would say some of those teams would be happy enough to have that draw.
Yes, I would absolutely agree. Now, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 games left in the men's groups. To make it that they've all played 4. So everyone has 1 or 2 games left. So changes could happen. I mean,
yep.
Again, going from a biased point of view, Ireland have to play New Zealand and Argentina. No,
we take 2 wins. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. If they had 2 wins, they would qualify.
Okay.
So, you know, it can take one game. Like again, Argentina, if they were to win one of their games, they would go into third. So there's a lot of movement for this next couple of days in the final bits of the group games. And honestly, it's probably the same with the women's. Pool A is Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, China, Japan, France, with Belgium and Netherlands being the 2 qualified teams. Pool B is Australia, Argentina, Spain, GB, USA, and South Africa, with Australia and Argentina being the 2 top teams. So again, as it stands, Belgium would play GB, Netherlands would play Spain, Germany would play Argentina, and China would play Australia.
Again, not bad for if those were some of those countries, they'd be going, yeah, I'll take that.
I would absolutely agree. But again, all of the women's teams have only played 3 games. So everyone has to play 2 more. So there is still plenty of opportunity for 3rd and 4th places in both pools to change. So it's an interesting last couple of days for the groups.
Yeah.
There's only 2 more days of group games before the quarterfinals start. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens and to see if any of these missed opportunities could cost. Because Belgium, Netherlands in Pool A, Belgium are top because of goal difference.
Of course, yeah.
That could change if Netherlands put whatever past another team, but it could come down to that for that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 4th position. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Good stuff. That sounds I'd say you would take those groups, you'd take those quarterfinals. Obviously, with Ireland winning the next 2 games, they'll go into 4th and blah blah blah.
And they would play Germany, which would be a great
easy
because
they only beat the Dutch by 1.
Yeah, they would go on to beat either the Netherlands or on Australia, and then they would meet probably Belgium or India in the final, and that's an easy win, to be honest.
Done. Let's stop the games now.
Yep. Gold medals on the necks. Come home to Banbridge to celebrate.
Brilliant.
As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you want to leave your day 5 moments in the comments below, and as always, like, and yes, I did say 5. Like and subscribe if you're watching. And bonus news, you can now listen to us on Spotify and on iTunes, so you can listen to us on the go a bit more as well. But thank you very much for watching and listening, and thank you, Alan, for joining us.
Thanks a lot. See you later.
Take care now.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.